Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about The Menu. And this movie came out in 2022 and stars Anya Taylor-Joy and Ray Fiennes. And I kind of avoided this movie for a while, and the reason being is because it just didn't look interesting, and I didn't think it would be anything special. I was almost certain that it was going to be just a film where, like, you don't really know what's going on, and eventually it'll reveal itself. And I was just expecting the reveal to be, like, really lame and boring, and there wouldn't be much else to it. And to my surprise, it was that, but it wasn't in a way. Like, in a way, I enjoyed this movie more than I thought I would, but at the same time, I didn't enjoy it as much as I would have liked to say it's a good movie. I wouldn't say it's good, but it's better than I expected it to be, at the very least. And I like the second half better than the first half. I think the first half is really annoying and just filled with characters that I just can't stand. Some of the dialogue was kind of pretentious, and it was kind of exactly what I expected it to be, and just completely unspecial, and it was very boring. And about halfway through the movie, I was this close to shutting it off and just never looking back. But at that point, it started to get better, because there was one part in the movie that I found to be absolutely hilarious, unintentionally funny. And even though this movie does kind of have a little bit of a sense of humor, that was just my interpretation. But the way that moment was handled, because it was so violent, and the way the film kind of was treating itself, it kind of felt as though it was taking itself seriously, but I just found it to be really funny. From that point on, I started to like the movie, and despite all the stuff that made me feel as though it was a painful experience to sit through, it did get better, and I liked kind of what it was going for, and I liked how each character was there for a reason without spoiling anything, and they're all very distinct, and they don't feel like the same character, fortunately. And there's some good performances in it. I like Anya Taylor-Joy in the movie, and Ray Fiennes, I think he's great as well, and there are some good things about it. And there were a couple of shots that I thought looked interesting. Those mostly being overhead shots. Like, those were my favorite shots in the movie. And I thought they looked nice. But the rest of the movie, it was just way too many close-ups. And for the most part, it didn't really help out the experience. Because in the very beginning of the movie, we don't really get a whole lot of wide shots. And we're outside, and I would like to see the location. I would like to see what these characters are able to see, but I can't because we're too close. But as the movie goes along, once we get inside, I think it works a lot better, with it being lots of close shots and just trying to make you feel claustrophobic. Like, that worked for me once we start getting into the plot of the movie. Like, once we get inside an actual building, that's when it starts to work. And the music in the movie, I hated. I thought it was one of the worst parts of the movie. It did not add to the experience whatsoever. It just kept insisting that what is going on is a lot more powerful than what is actually happening in the film, without spoiling anything. That's just how I felt. And there's way too many cuts in this movie. Not that it's super choppy consistently, but I feel as though I didn't really get enough time to breathe and really be able to, like, soak in every shot in the movie. Like, it's a little too quick for that to happen. And this movie is also kind of trying to be a horror movie, and unfortunately, I didn't really find it scary. And there were points where it was trying to be funny, and very few times did it actually work for me. Like, a couple times I thought it was successful, but most of the time it was not clicking right with me. I will say this, what helps separate this movie from other movies that I don't really connect with all that much is that Unlike any other disposable bad movie that you could choose from, this one, at the very least, is trying to encourage you to think about it. And that's kind of what helps out the film. I kind of like movies that encourage me to think about it, so they stick with me a bit more. And in this movie, it's helped out the experience. Not by a whole lot. Like, it didn't save the movie, but it did improve it for me. And it's asking me to think about it. It didn't damage my experience while watching the movie. And even thinking about it, it kind of improved it for me. And to some extent, it is kind of asking you to maybe watch multiple times. And possibly you could get more out of it upon multiple viewings. And I like that about the movie. I don't know if I'll ever watch it again because I think I got just about all of it upon just one viewing. And even if I didn't, I feel as though, like, it's not really a movie I would rush back to. And I didn't like it enough to want to revisit it also. And one of my biggest criticisms with the movie would be that I didn't really connect to it. I was kind of checked out. Even when I kind of started to like it, I wasn't really invested in any of the characters. And that's about all I have to say about The Menu. It was better than I thought it would be, but unfortunately not good enough for me to say I'll rewatch it or say that it's good. But I didn't regret watching it, fortunately. That's about as much credit as I can get of it. I didn't regret watching it. I feel like I got something out of it, even if I don't love it. But if this movie looks interesting to you, then check it out. And if it doesn't look interesting to you, then skip it. It's as simple as that. If you like the trailers, then watch it. If you don't watch it. And with all that being said, I'm going to give The Menu a 5 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of The Menu, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Commando. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.